Welcome back to God, Dicks, and Puns. This is Sam, your usual friendly neighborhood DM who tries to kill all the PCs but never seems to be able to do so. And this week, instead of doing all that usual self-promo that I do about where we are, what we're doing, and all that type of stuff, I just want to profess to you guys how much I am in love with this game. I mean, it's often the high point of my week where I can take a break from studying, take a break of working, and just sit down with a couple friends, crack a cold one, and have a general good time for 3, 4, 5 hours, sometimes a bit too long for however long we spend our sessions, and just overall taking a break from actual life and delving deep into imagination. If some of you guys don't know how D&D works, well, first off, welcome to the podcast, and I hope that you're able to learn something from us. And second, I really hope that you guys are able to find a group because this is an absolute insane adventure. As much as it comes from being absolutely prepared, as much as it comes from those silly little moments of improv. And any of you who know about this adventure path, you're going to see that at some points I bring in stuff that nobody had expected, and some of those moments become iconic. So, to all you DMs out there, don't be afraid to be creative in your own ways. Even though you're following an adventure path, you can bring in some different stuff and you can bring in a lot of new variety and new personalized aspects to make this game so much better. Again, I absolutely love this game, and I really hope that you guys are able to love it as much as I can and are able to enjoy the content as much as I enjoy creating this content and just spending a whole lot of good times with my friends getting this content to you guys. So, again, I just want to say thank you so much for listening. Please continue helping us move forward with this. This is an absolute high point for us. And yeah. Thank you guys again so much. Now, please enjoy episode 8, A Fine Day. You guys are actually going to have a full day to do whatever the hell you want. You can interact with anything in the city. I know that Detlaff said something about going to church. We can roleplay that if you want.
In the morning, first thing Sue does after drinking a lot last night, you see her at the at the bar in the morning, just grab a glass of water, drop a little tablet in it, the water starts fizzing. She's like, my head. Drinks that, and about 10 minutes later, say, all right, I'm good for another day of drinking.
Goddamn Sue.
So I'll take one of those off my sheet, because I'm sure she was going to have a hangover in the morning. Sue will just, actually, you know what, she'd finish up the letter today and then send it proper. And she'll probably go see, I don't know, is there a training yard?
There is the garrison, and you would know that that the local guard train for a few hours every week, and today happens to be that day where the guard train. You're training with a militia.
Cool. She watches the eye candy. If anyone asks, like, what are you doing? It's like, oh, I'm just waiting for a sparring partner.
Well, they're kind of all used to sparring with each other, and you hear at some point one be like, "You're done, chop up." That's pretty much it. Nothing of note happens. They notice your presence, but they're all so used to their own training buddies that they don't make much of it.
Does Sue tell anybody where she's going?
Oh, yeah. I'm off to see the strong boys of the city.
What does that mean?
Guards, militia, that kind of place.
Are we doing anything else today?
That's what I'm doing. I'm writing a letter, and then I'll send it off at the end of the day. But in the meantime, while I'm thinking about it, that's what I'm going to watch.
You guys do know that Emil and the boy are at church presently, if you want to go visit them. Otherwise, you can go around and talk with the locals. Maybe.
The new daddy can deal with that. That's not my problem anymore.
All right.
I follow Sue. Fuck that.
So Detlaff goes to the church?
Yep. So I go to church. I also bring the extra 2 items I just told you that I'm buying.
Yeah, sure.
Devlak, are you joining or?
Yep. Devlak is joining.
Okay.
Cool. That means I guess I'll spar a little bit with Astrid at some point as well.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Also, Devlak would also maybe if he sees the person, ask if they found the good berry tray so he can make some more good berries for the day. If not, it's fine.
So I stopped by the blacksmith.
You get 6 berries. So yeah, you grab all those items, and I'll tell you the modified total later. And you head up to the church. We're not going to change map because I don't have a map for the inside of the church. And once you get there, you notice Sheriff Hemlock again, and Emil, the kid, and another woman seems to be having a big talk.
Emil is the mother.
Yeah.
I approach. Is there a problem here?
The other woman looks sharply at you and, "Are you one of those that tried to help my sister there?"
Her husband was killed by a goblin. Have some sympathy.
"Well, if you were better at heroing, maybe he would still be alive and I wouldn't have to be here. Now, if you'll excuse me,
And
I'm
what's
gonna
your
be
excuse
grabbing-
for not saving him?
I was in Magnamar and I just got to town to bring them back home. You heroes all so lousy."
Listen to me, woman. I'm no hero. I'm simply a survivor just like you. And I do what I have to do to come by. To survive. Now, if you want to complain about what I didn't do, think about what you didn't do.
Are you trying to intimidate? Are you trying to diplomacy? Which one?
Not to metagame, but I would say intimidate with that.
Yeah, that sounds like an intimidate one.
Yeah. He's not trying to intimidate, he's legit pissed.
Yeah. Roll an intimidate.
Sure.
You're gonna get a bonus.
Please just don't roll a 1.
Okay. You got a +4 from that role play, so 15. She's just like, "Just leave my family alone." She grabs her family and she attempts to leave. You understand from the message that she's taking her family back to Magnamar, which is a city south.
Well, I rolled a 21 for diplomacy to go, please, let me speak. Then you can do with them as you may.
You can see she's unfriendly towards you right now. Like, "I just want to
The
bring them back
decision is
home. I just
there.
want to." She looks at Emil and the kid. They both are like, "Okay, he's my new daddy."
Oh, she's not going to take kindly to that.
She's not gonna react because of your intimidate.
You can have them in but a moment.
Make it quick. The roads aren't safe at night.
Thank you. So he pulls them away. And,
She does insist to stay rather close.
We'll stay within eyesight. We aren't going far. He simply moves like 20 feet away. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
And he goes, promise made, promise kept. And he pulls out the crossbow, the light crossbow, small, and he also passes her a dagger, and to the kid he passes a small dagger. May it be that you stay in the city with guards and walls, but always learn to defend yourself. Best you learn now. Life is tough, and you know it now. I've also had to suffer. He points up to Regis, who comes out of the shadows and says, I've lost my brother. I did with it what I could. And here I am now.
The kid is just in awe of the crossbow, as kids would be. The mother is like, "Thank you. That's very kind."
Make sure he practices at least once a day on his kill.
I don't think that's going to be an issue. And you actually see the kid. Keep in mind, it may be a small light crossbow, but it is so heavy for a 6-year-old kid.
Well, he can use the light crossbow as a two-handed weapon.
Mm-hmm.
I did give him a small, heavy crossbow.
He's having a difficult time actually bringing it up, but he's actually already fiddling around with it. So she's like, "I appreciate this gesture, and please come by Magnamar one day to say hi. He thinks you're his new daddy, so."
Oh
If
God.
ever I'm in the region, I'll come by.
She's very delighted at that, and not gonna play yet on the brother thing, but she did take note of it.
Yeah. And he actually gives a hug to the kid.
Aww.
And like gives him a hug and he says like, train hard, all will be well. I look
Thank
forward
you.
to seeing you again. and he squeezes his shoulders a little bit. Like he's now, away from him and looking at him. I'm in the region.
So, goddamn it, now I have to prepare for a visit with Emil and everybody in the long run. God, fuck. Okay, I'm gonna have to write this down.
Welcome to being a DM.
Yeah, and I guess Devlak seeing that a kind of touching moment. At first he was like kind of like no, but like he sees how tied Detlaff is to this, kind of has like a tear running down his eye. He's like, Detlaff, you're gonna be a great father. I can tell you that.
I mean, hearing what you say, like, he turns around and goes, "We'll talk later."
He's like, oh god damn! I think somebody cut some onions in the church.
Oh my god.
You see, Aeren is actually, he himself had a tear, but being a kid, he also has just snot coming down. and you, Remy, once your hug is done, you actually just see a filament like, just a filament of snot like. Bleh.
He takes a little bit of he actually takes his own cloth and just wipes a bit the nose. You see, he's dealt with kids before, actually. He's not necessarily a father, but it's not his first time handling a child.
Surprising. Very surprising.
Concerning.
Concerning. Well, if you knew where he's from.
So as that interaction passes, you actually have Sheriff Hemlock, who wasn't too far away. He was kind of taking guard of the family and watching over them.
Speaking of, I did want to talk to him.
Okay. He was actually going to come to you, but go ahead.
Well, if he comes to me, that's perfect.
Are you approaching me? Well, I can't approach.
I guess I was thinking that. I can't kick your ass if I don't get close.
So he's gonna look at you, and first thing he says, "That was extremely touching." giving a kid a crossbow and his mother a dagger. You're gonna be a fine daddy.
I am not.
Who's your daddy? And what does he do?
Who's your daddy?
So on Detlaff's gravestone, when the day he's gonna die, we're just gonna see Detlaff, in parentheses, daddy.
Oh, daddy.
All right, what do you answer to that?
Actually, Sheriff, if we could, and I put a hand on his shoulder to move him away from to hint that it's let's speak a bit in private.
He actually signals to Father Xantus, who just okay, yeah, over there. You go to a private room.
So, the goblin and Devlak, you're free to follow. Actually, if you don't follow, Devlak looks back and
oh yeah, Devlak's coming.
Devlak was just watching over his berries.
Actually, I just pictured him in the church, just going, nah, he is good. Looking where we were, but no longer are anybody, and just going, yeah.
Yeah, their was on his own a train of thought. He found you quite nice as a father.
Daddy.
So yeah, Devlak's gonna follow.
The goblin we interrogated mentioned that their camp is somewhere called Mosswood.
Mm-hmm.
Does this ring a bell?
It does. Mosswood is actually a region really not far from here. You were right by it. You should know this.
I think it would be worth trying to see if the camp is still there, but I'm not sure if my group would be wise to go alone. However, I think first would be smart to try to investigate rather than engage head on.
You see him turn from his stoic face to actually a determined face. He puts a very strong hand on your shoulder, like confidence, and says, "You may be onto something, but you have to come see me. Well, actually, you have to go get your team. We have somewhere to go right now."
Okay. By the way, I'm a little confused. There's one last thing the goblin said right before dying?
What did he say?
Nothing to us. It might be just the name of their boss. He said, "Big Gugmut."
Big Gugma.
Does that mean anything to you?
It actually does.
It does. What is that?
Around here, there are some goblin tribes. Big Gugma. He's known.
A goblin chief?
I'm not the right guy for you to talk about. I mostly take care of the town. I know somebody you're gonna want to talk to.
Speaking of town stuff, I do believe you were talking about recently some carts of berries, by any chance. And I don't mean to be impolite, but I have not seen that cart of berries as of yet. Now, I don't mind making those berries for you, but it's very hard to find that many berries. It hurt my back. I have back problems sometimes because I try to pick up berries.
Well, I'm sorry, we couldn't find a cart full of berries. It's gonna take some time to fully work on that because there's a lot of berries, but they're not around here. But my friend over there gave you some berries right before he came in, so there's that.
I know, and I appreciate that. Like, don't get me wrong. I love the fact that you still give me berries, and I'm making greater berries with that. But listen, it doesn't need to be a cart. Just maybe a jar, like a big jar. I could do with a jar. It's not too much to ask. I make berries into good berries. They get good. You want good stuff, right? You get what I'm saying?
He bends down in front of you to get at your level, and now his face turned from determined to just like stoic and almost just anime intense.
You will have berries later.
Oh my god.
Like I said, it doesn't need to be now. I was just wondering when the berries were coming, like that, because when Detlaff hears about like a cart full of berries, you get Detlaff really excited, and like if he doesn't see a cart full of berries, that's okay. It was tell Detlaff, otherwise Detlaff is gonna be disappointed. Detlaff probably too. Because he know gonna get good berries, but yeah, it's all I'm asking. If there's no cart berries, you just tell me. Detlaff won't be sad, but maybe a bit, but not too much.
That was extremely confusing.
My point is there not going to be a cart of berries? Because if not, it's okay. But
It'll take some time. More time than 3 days. You asked me this 3 days ago. It takes a lot of time to gather berries.
pinky swear on it, spit shake on it.
He looks at you and just like in your hand. No, actually, retcon. And Detlaff reflex save DC 10. Okay, when you see the embrace of the hand, you see actually just a wave of snot and spit coming, and you just very deftly.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's basically what I like. One of those where he stays like super calm. Is just like one of those.
And you see the wall behind you just get splattered.
I'll have to get on that.
They left. We gonna get berries. I got a spit shake on it, so we good.
I love your focus on berries.
It's a fun time. Not gonna lie.
Well,
Alright.
we
Oh,
need.
by the way, you have to come to town hall with your team as soon as you can.
Let's go find Suzette and Astrid.
Please do.
You know which location they were going to?
I don't remember. Do you? I just heard hot guys. Yeah, that's all. So we're gonna have to find hot guys. They left. Do you know any hot guys? Because I don't.
Oh my god.
So they left. Apparently Sue and Trid are looking for some hot guys or doing stuff with some hot guys, and where apparently they're working out, or I think they're doing like tricks or something with the hot guys. I think they're so far right. They're fighting with the swords with the hot guys.
God.
Start fighting with that guys. Oh,
I rolled
okay then.
local. We try and figure out where they be.
Oh, the 12 was your knowledge local?
Yes.
And Devlak, you did say something about training, right?
Yep.
Training
Alright,
out, guys.
and this is happening like almost as Sheriff is leaving, and he's like,
There's actually the military training today. Maybe their guys are really hot over there. Mhm.
Wow.
They just go, mm.
Wow,
Disc,
Captain.
who also happens to be in the room, just goes,
Devlak turns around to Detlaff. He's like, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
maybe. I'm not sure what you're thinking.
I'm thinking good berries.
I
Yes, but I also thinking.
go find that garrison.
Agreed. Yes.
And
Alright,
it's
so,
upward everywhere.
so you guys make your way to the garrison?
Yes.
Yes.
Sure enough, you see Sue and Astrid over there. Sue ogling a bit, kind of wobbly on her feet. Astrid just like, but after her training, and you see like about, I'd say 40 people that are actively training, and you see some are more fit than others, but they all seem to be wielding the sword with an actual proper stand.
Are they like in the middle of the group, or are they like? Yes.
They would be more so in the edges, I would say, because
Okay.
the group have their own formation and everything, and their presence there could be more distracting than anything else.
So Devlak is going to call
It's Sue.
Sue. He's gonna be like, Sue, I got some juicy gossip for you. I think you'll like it.
Oh, yeah, all right. What's up? What's up, darling? What's new?
So, Sue, I do not notice the guy is calling you, and I take the opportunity that you are distracted to hit you with a training stick.
All right. Let's see. How would I know if it hits or not?
Against your AC.
What's your yeah? We probably wouldn't have our armor on because training. So, what's your AC without armor?
Right?
Unless you want to practice with armor, but it's not really much training at that point.
I guess my AC without armor would be.
I think that would
Wait a
just be a touch,
second.
right?
No, it's just armor without AC. So I guess I'd probably still
Without AC.
be fighting with my. Would I be fighting without my buckler? I'll say without my buckler. So 14 AC.
What
Miss-
did I roll? I got a 17 to hit you.
So you just get me, you whack me good across the back of the head or something. As I turn around, and I go, "What?" Oh shit, my headphones.
Jesus.
That's exactly what happens with your bottle of alcohol. Just
I'm not fighting with it open, of course. Duh. It's not, I'm not. You know what? Actually, no. She might just be cocky enough. Spencer, right? It's like,
Oh my god.
no, the boat!
Yeah, Remy is showing it exactly.
Sue, you know what, Trade? I think you could take it. Come here, Trade. So he kind of gestures to bring Sue and shit over. He's like,
Okay, yeah,
So-
I notice after. Okay.
and like kind of tries to whisper, so you would not believe what me and Detlaff just discovered. Apparently, the captain might not be a straight shooter. So if you ever want to sit up, you might have the opportunity, Sue. I'm just saying. He might not be. I'm not sure if he came out of the closet yet, but
My character's confused as fuck.
Yeah,
In any case,
you say he's not a straight shooter, but Sue's a female, so it's just like
no. I'm just saying. If you ever, you say you wanted to wingman a guy that's interested in guys, right? You try to ask me
I
there.
want to wingman you because you seemed like a fellow that was looking around.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I misunderstood. I thought you wanted to wingman a guy who's interested in guys. It's my mistake.
No,
Never mind.
I think you're a fine individual, and you look like you need to get yourself a bit of hoo-ha. So,
Where
I mean, you're so focused on berries, man. I'm a little bit worried for you.
Well, it has been a long time. I will not lie.
Berries.
In any case, real reason why we're here is we're needed, all of us, in City Hall.
It has been a long time since the yes. I do agree.
You're true too, man. Oh my god, my character so wants to make some bad jokes. When they say Devlock, when they said the birds and bees, they didn't mean literally.
I know that story.
Oh god, that was a good one.
Bird eats the bee, right?
Oh man.
Yes.
All right, do you guys head up to the town hall?
Yeah.
We'll walk in there. I'm still confused. What's hoo-ha?
Oh, you'll know when you get it.
All right, so you are now in town hall, and the doors in front of you are open,
Oh, sorry. Okay.
and sheriff is in the middle, and he's pointing.
So, guess I walk in front, and I'm like, okay, guys, well, whenever you're ready, you can come inside.
Sorry, I was Skyping. I mean, Discording. I mean, DMing. I mean, D&D. I mean,
Why is he stretched out? Oh, okay, there we go. Good
Sorry,
crap
that
out
was.
of-
So he goes in. He just goes in the end here. You actually still see him, and you guys all walk in.
yep.
Yep.
All right, you're immediately greeted by Mayor Kendra Deverin, who says, hello. You are the heroes who helped us clear out the goblins during the Swallowtail Festival, correct?
Sure.
Sure.
Heroes is what you want.
I mean all this with the most respect possible. How would you have me call you, fine gentleman?
I suppose heroes could be. I just never saw myself as one.
Wait. I do think this guy, he points at Detlaff, likes to call himself Detlaff. I do think, and this is just me. This fine lady points at Sue, likes to call herself Sue, and this lady likes to call herself Trap. She's called Astrid, but she prefers Trap. So if you could stick with that, I think she would appreciate. So yeah, and me is Devlak. So that's how we prefer getting called. Yeah.
Much appreciated, kind dwarf. I must say that your performances have all been exemplary in helping us deal with this goblin threat. I think it was Sue and or Astrid. I'm sorry, I don't know how to call you. Well, I would have you take a seat, please.
Wait. Do I just? Never mind. Okay, I gotcha.
Wait,
Also,
they
there
want
you
us to. They want us to take a seat.
Yes.
my character was like really tempted to take a seat and pick it up and be like, oh, damn.
Yeah,
Like,
Sue was just like,
I
all right,
I mean,
grabs a seat and
please-
starts leaving with it.
please sit
Oh,
down.
much obliged.
Please sit down. I don't want you stealing any of our fine $5 chairs.
Fine, $5 chips.
What's a dollar? I only know gold, silver, and copper.
Well, fair enough.
Hookers do.
So I would like to introduce you all to our friend here, and actually, Sheriff, would you take this? Absolutely. This here is Chanelu. She is almost an unofficial member of our guard. And you see Chanelu actually smirk a bit at that remark. He looks back at you all and he says, Chanelu, these are all our newest crop of goblin slayers. Chanelu has been a thorn in the side of the local goblin tribes for years, and very few people know more about goblins than she does, especially the ones around here.
Goblin Slayer.
Goblins.
Thinking
Go-
that too.
Goblin Slayer. In short, there's been an increase in goblin-related raids along the Lost Coast, particularly in the dale between Meadowwood and Mosswood. And I'm actually going to change you guys to the regional map so you guys know what the fuck I'm talking about. So essentially, yes, there's been a lot of goblin-related activity over there, and Chanelu has been one to help out along those regions. She actually helped save a farm over there just a day ago before arriving last night. And actually, Shalelu, would you care to talk to our friends here? Yes, well, Bellows told me about your work against the goblins. Well done.
As he said, I've dedicated the last several years of my life to keeping them from causing too much trouble around these parts, but they're tenacious and fecund little runts, like weeds that bite. One thing that maybe you, well, Sheriff told me about you knowing a bit about the Mosswood region and specifically Big Gugmut. That goblin, he's one of the goblin chiefs of one of the 5 major goblin tribes in the region. Usually, those tribes have been quite good at keeping each other in line with petty squabbles between each other, killing off just enough so that they're not much of a hassle other than the usual biting at the knee of somebody or shooting an arrow at the knee of a guard.
God
So,
damn it, Sam.
I'm having fun. I can actually do this shit.
I didn't say
Yeah.
stop.
So, from what I've been able to piece together, here's what worries me. The goblins that attacked, they're not just one tribe. They're all 5 tribes, banded together. When you have a lot of people coming up together to fight, means you got somebody big up top telling them what to do. In any event, it really, really disturbs me.
Ever known to work with humans?
I've heard of some alliances, but I've never been one to witness it. And if not, it's usually just interrogations that those little fuck not speaking common doesn't lead to much.
Do they have spellcasters, especially any who are capable of necromancy?
Well, goblin mages, you see those aplenty. They usually die lighting themselves on fire while miscasting a firebolt. But
Can confirm.
necromancy and goblin, not the most common thing. It's why do you ask?
I asked because on the night the goblins attacked, we went to the cemetery and we found tracks of goblins, but also they seem to be accompanied by a human. Also, in one of the crypts we went inside of, was awaiting for us 2 skeletons that had been raised by at the arcade.
It was
And,
a robe of bones.
Yeah, row of bones.
well, I don't know much about that. It is disturbing that they've raised some undead and that there were human tracks among them. To me, it doesn't make much sense. I don't know much of anybody in here that would want to do that.
What
She
if
looks at she looks at the mayor. She looks at the sheriff, and they both are like,
Didn't the sheriff witness the zombies?
he did witness them. He hadn't spoken to her about it, even though they briefed, but they mostly talked about goblins more so than anything. The sheriff is like, we know they came from a robe of bones, but I don't know if it comes from goblin, from human, why the human is working with them.
the
It's
row
sure.
of bones, was it small sized or medium sized?
It was medium sized.
The row of bones was not the size that would be worn by a goblin. Could it be possible that this attack, especially if you're saying that the tribes were, this is what you said, right? 5 of them?
Yes,
working
the 5
together
tribes.
here. Could it be that they're being led not by goblins?
Could be. Goblins aren't that smart, so it wouldn't make sense that they would. Her voice changed so much during. It would make sense that they would be led by some human power, better potential than those little runts.
Why's it gotta be humans? Could be dwarf, could be catfolk.
You told me human.
Oh yeah, no, I just
Who had identified the tracks?
I think it was Astrid.
Yes, I saw the tracks.
From her analysis, human track.
Well, I think it was humanoid. It had human-like shape, but
You rolled a good enough survival. You got confirmed that it was a human and that they were willing.
yes, they were human and they were willing.
ah.
God damn it!
Well, that's very concerning. So I think that you guys are gonna have to keep an eye out in case more attacks come. About those tribes, as I said, I fear that they're working together, and it's scary that they're working together, especially if it's a human at the top. And why were there? Where did you find these tribes? Where did you find these skeletons?
In
At the graveyard.
right behind the church cathedral.
What were they doing there?
You were going to speak, Astrid?
Yeah, they were at the graveyard.
Yeah, they were at the graveyard, but what were they doing at a graveyard? Why would they use... What use do they have of a graveyard? You told me they spawned skeletons, but were there any goblins when you got there?
No.
No, there was no goblins. I'm assuming they were trying to trick us to think that the skeletons were the body of that holy man you guys had there, but when you inspect the bones, it's just it's not the right guy. So I don't know what they're trying to do.
Well, did they take anything from the graveyard?
They took the body.
The body of who?
Oh man.
That guy that was buried there. I don't know his name. I'm sorry.
You didn't write it down, damn it.
Ask the
That
sheriff,
character
he knows.
That character didn't think.
Or the holy man.
Sheriff raises his voice. Ezekiel Tobin, the priest that died in the fire.
That dude.
Don't know why they took his bones in particular. He was well loved. A very, very kind man. It is extremely disappointing that his bones are no longer there.
Oh man, sorry, I just have to share this. Someone a friend of mine just sent me a message on Facebook, and she said, "I'm creating a character for Chronicles of Darkness campaign. I asked Nick for recommendations as to what profession I should choose, since I usually play a tank type. He recommended I play bouncer, and I jokingly added librarian. So now I'm creating a character based off of you, lol." So I've apparently
That
got
is
someone
so
who's
good.
playing a character based off of me.
So now Sheriff Hemlock speaks up again. So here's why we brought you here. First, to meet Shelley Lou, who is an incredibly valuable ally for us to have. And second, I myself am leaving for Magnamar to go gather troops in case Sandpoint would be victim of another attack. The locals here seem to have taken to you. He looks at Sue just a moment longer than you would expect. As maybe he knows something he shouldn't. Seeing you guys around town for the next few days is going to help them a lot. So I would ask you people to stay around, make sure that nobody dies, keep watch while I'm out of here.
Is a few questions before you before you leave.
If
Do
it's about
you-
berries, I don't want to know about it.
It's not about berries.
I'm extremely surprised.
Look at me. It's Detlaff being serious for once. It's very rare, so pay attention. So first thing first, do you know where the goblins breached the city or the village? Because first thing first, that's something you have to check for future reference. Second, do we have any resources to fortify the village while you is gone?
Well, for your first question, there are only two accesses to the town. Tanner's Bridge, Sandpoint Bridge. Actually, sorry, three. I'm kind of drunk. From the north, from the north, there's a gate, and there's the Tanner's Bridge, but not many people pass there, and there's the Sandpoint Bridge down south. We usually don't look at it too much because there's just not that much to steal in Sandpoint. As you can tell, we're a rather small little village here. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. We have not identified where the goblins came in, but
If I may add, is they weren't here to necessarily steal. They were here to eat, kill dogs, and burn. So it's my belief that if we focus more on protecting the village, so these three access points, we will have a more secure village for meanwhile you're gone.
that is why I actually wanted to get more people, because as much as our militia is good, I cannot have the local tanner, the local smith, and the local bartender guarding the bridges, right? So
No, you can't.
So that's why I want to get more people. We don't have enough guards to ensure the security of the city and the security of the access points. And I'm hoping that you guys can make sure that the city is safe while I'm gone.
Yes, and
I would be extremely thankful.
About those resources, do we have guards? What are resources to protect?
There are some guards that you can summon within 1 day, 3 hours. You got given plenty of gold already. I don't think we can offer you much more than what you already have.
Oh, it's just knowing for protection. And lastly, a question. So with you leaving, who's in charge of the guards?
The guards are in charge of themselves now.
You don't have a lieutenant?
The answer
Second?
to the mayor. The answer to the mayor when I'm not here. I'm the second in command. She's the first.
I see.
Any other questions? No berries.
How many days are you gone for?
I should be gone for a few days. It's difficult to say exactly how long because weather, because road, because I don't know how long it's going to take me to recruit people over there. It shouldn't be that long, but don't expect me back before nightfall.
Fair enough.
I'll actually be guaranteeing Emil's and Aeren's safety while they're heading back to Magnamar with their sister. Thank you again for your help over there. I'm sorry for her sister's behavior towards you, Detlaff.
I'm accustomed to it. If anything, what I am not accustomed to is being treated otherwise, as I have been lately.
Well, that is something that we're going to have to explore a bit later, but it is very sad to know. However, I'm happy that we are treating you right here.
Don't worry about it. Devlaff's going to warm Devlaff's heart. He's going to feel like a volcano at the end of this adventure.
Guess where?
A spit check on it.
Who are you shaking it to?
Ew.
At this point, Shalili was just like, what the fuck is going on? Well, I'm going to meet you guys back at the Rusty Dragon Inn. I'd like to talk to you a bit more about the Goblin tribes and everything going around. But otherwise, yeah, this is pretty much it right now. The mayor is essentially... I'm very happy to know that you people will... Do you agree to stay in the town for a few days to help us out?
As long as
Sure.
you have me.
Is Devlaff agrees, but I do have this unsettling feeling that this was not the first time we will see goblins. So if you can tell your guards to be on alert, it'd be much appreciated. And once again, Devlaff has kind of written down like the gate, Shampoo Bridge, and Tanner Bridge. This will be very important, if possible.
We actually already had that covered, and we have had guards over there. What worries me is that the attack happened right when we consecrated the cathedral, the last mark of the late unpleasantness, but that's...
Were there guards at the bridges that day?
No, we had no reason to.
I see.
The bridges are usually not very much guarded. I mean, we don't have many riches. The biggest place here is a cathedral, and even though it's an absolute marvel, it's nothing for people to steal.
Plenty of food for them to steal that day.
Well, yeah, they chose their day, right? I mean, it's weird that they attacked exactly when they knew plenty of food would be out, right?
Well, then we say that some
Weird.
human folk were helping them.
It's what I'm understanding.
This feels planned.
Theories thicken.
It would seem so. Well,
You are the weakest. If we were to if anyone was to attack a town at any point, it would probably be when everybody's gathered together and off their guards. Like if this would be to happen in a place like Ravenholm.
God.
Sheriff looks at you and he's like, "You seem to know a lot about this. What do you know?"
I've had to survive my fair share of
Yes.
words.
Very wise answer. So at this point, unless you people have more to tell me or more questions to ask, I will be taking my leave from Magnamar and I'll be back in a few days.
My character kind of like does this weird salute but trying to like get your attention.
Does anyone else other than us know that you'll be leaving for a while?
Some of the guards, my family.
Do we get extra gear to help defend the town?
He looks at you with all the weapons that you have.
Oh, I was talking about armor. I wasn't talking about weapons.
You can go check out the local army, but we don't. There's a limit to the resources that we can give currently. Maybe at a later time.
I was checking.
Actually, I do have an idea. You can leave guard, Captain, sir. It's okay. We got sheriff. Pardon me. We got this.
He
So
stomps
Mayor,
out.
Oh wait, actually, I should bring you back to. We've been looking at Sandpoint while I actually have the map only specifically designed for this encounter.
yes. So, Mayor, I have an idea. Detlaff, you'd like to speak? Go ahead. I can say my idea afterwards. Oh, okay. I see. Well, I guess Detlaff had to go, so he'll be back. So here's my idea. We spread this false rumor that we is going to celebrate something, right? An invented holiday, and on that day, um, well, we used that to spring a trap for the goblins because they were going to expect that no god's going to be there, but then poof, they're going to be gods, and then poof, no more goblins. See, simple.
That sounds smart. Let's do that.
I don't feel like risking more of the town folks' lives is a good idea. And honestly, if a rat was amongst us, do you really think he would be back so soon after committing his crime?
Wait,
Did you say
please.
rat? Did you say rat? No.
Oh my, fuck off.
Chalice isn't here, Sue.
Wait, miss. And I would not like to make the people panic, but there is also always the option that this was an inside job.
There is that option, of course. Chalielu says, "Well, I can tell you that I've been searching. I've been looking around the tribes for a few days now, and as I said, I only came back last night, and they don't seem to be mobilizing. And nobody seems to be moving currently from the other places. So I don't think that the town is in immediate danger of another goblin attack. Though having you guys as guards is always a good idea."
All right.
So the mayor actually says, Do you need my help with anything else? Otherwise, I would have to get back to my paperwork. It's a surprising amount of paperwork to deal with a few bodies, and especially a lot of goblin bodies.
Are we like deputized or something?
Do you want to be deputized?
Please.
That'd be
She her
appreciated.
eyes light up and she's like, can I be a knight?
I don't have the power to grant you knighthood, but I can name you little deputy Astrid.
I'm not little. She crosses her arm. She's like, fine, whatever.
You say fine? Okay. She actually just takes a bit of construction paper
Oh
from
my God.
inside her desk, cuts out a little star, and writes "Little Dep Try."
I'd like one. I'd like one.
She gives you another one.
Yeah.
Would this count as a job? Could this be possibly something I could remain in the long term?
Oh, trust me, this town is going to be great for you to stay long term, and we can definitely find you something more suitable for your talents than being a simple town guard later on. And she actually just nods to Shalelu, who you see she has a fairly big coin purse from that, but you do notice that she is relatively in shambles, and sheriff and the mayor did seem a bit like tense from the whole situation, not just from Shalelu.
Last little thing, could you make my star written temporary sheriff, and could I get your signature on it as a memento from an awesome mayor?
She writes little Dev, and she just stamps it right on your forehead.
Could I have the signature of the mayor as well?
Okay. She flips it around.
Thank you. Appreciate it. You're the best mayor.
So, Shalelo, as your local goblin slayer around these parts, what tribe would you say is the most troublesome of all of them so far?
Well, let's head. I'm actually famished, so let's head back to the Rusty Dragon. I hear they make a mean wild boar, so let's head back over there and we'll chat there. How's that?
Sounds fair. Sounds good.
We will.
Yeah.
All right, so heading you guys back to the Rusty Dragon. Well, gather around. You guys are still in the rooms.
Oh,
Shit. I'm not. Screw you. No, I'm on drawing. There we go.
Well,
I deleted myself. fuck's
You,
sake.
you suck.
Where's my character? Am I dead?
Hang on. Well, okay, your character is dead. Make a new character.
I hope you had a backup character.
Ah,
Oh, God. Where is your thing?
I'm a giant, bitches!
Ah, kill her with fire.
Aw.
The fire has worked.
Oh my god.
Run.
All right, you have control over now.
Yay! I sit beside the hunt.
So you guys all sit around. You get brought plenty of drinks, plenty of. Come sit around this table, Sue. Not over there. Devlock, why are you alone?
Yeah, seriously, guys. What, are you guys like handicap or something?
I thought we were going on a regular table.
Yeah, it's
This is a regular
coffee.
table.
It's my spot. Okay, fine. I guess we're moving. And you see, Devla's kind of grumpy. He's like, it's a table. God damn it.
It's okay. We'll sit back at our table at a later hour.
So you guys sit around the table. You get a beautiful meal. You actually get one more berry, Devlock. She says, "So about these goblin tribes, here's a map, the Varistia regional map. So as I mentioned earlier, there are five major goblin tribes in the region. The closest to Sandpoint are the Bird Cruncher goblins, who live in caves along the western edge of the Devil's Plateau. So they're the closest, but they're not that much of a threat, I could say.
Okay.
And their leader is Renwaddle Gutwad. So one thing you got to know about the leaders is that usually Goblin lives short and very accident-prone lives.
You don't say.
However, sometimes a few of them live a bit longer than the usual ones, and that's when they're actually termed chiefs or heroes of their people. And Renwaddle Gutwag, the one of the Bird Cruncher tribe, is the obese is in shit. No, wrong. Renwaddle Gutwag is not of the Bird Cruncher. The Bird Cruncher do not have a leader as of right now. Shit.
Womp
The
womp.
so actually let's just delete Renwaddle. Otherwise, you talk to me about Big Gugbutt. He's actually a very unusual. He's very unusual for a goblin. He's very tall and muscular goblin from the regions of Mosswood that you guys are seem to be familiar with. Um, this tribe, there's just so much information. They seem to be the largest tribe, but are traditionally held back by the feuding families between their own ranks. Otherwise, there was Corvus, who was a champion of the Seven Tooth tribe, which was around Shana's Wood. Shank's Wood, I'm sorry, I'm a bit drunk as well. Everybody's drunk in this adventure.
Oh my god.
He was very well known for his short temper, and for his prized possession, which is a magic longsword, a bit too big for him. But he vanished several months ago after supposedly discovering a secret hideout in a cave along cliff. But the goblins over there remain convinced that he's still out there. Otherwise, if we look around the Brinestump Marsh, we have the Licktoad goblins that are led by Vorka. Vorka is a notorious cannibal, mostly only a hero to tribes outside of the marshes.
I recognize that. Why do I recognize that?
And finally,
Did he say Licktoad?
Yeah.
Licktoad, yes.
Yeah, Nathan, you'd recognize it from Weeby Goblins.
Oh, okay. Awesome. I want to go kill the alchemist.
So after this weird interaction,
Sorry.
the last tribes are over Nettlewood, and they are led by one called Ripnugget, and he controls what.
Sorry.
The name of these goblins is just so silly.
Fear the Nugget. The Rip Nugget. Sorry.
So yeah, Ripnugget,
He controls what the all five tribe agree is the best lair. And finally, among the heroes, there is one Bruthasmus, who is an infamous bugbear who lives in northern Nettlewood and often visits the five tribes to trade stolen things. At least
Hmm.
that's what I've heard. He does have a particular hatred for elves, and if you've seen the length of my ears, well, we have we have a bit of a back and forth. But trust me, I will not be the first to fall in our little private war.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much all
How
the
big
information
are
I can.
these tribes? How big are these tribes?
Your DM doesn't know that. I mean, the Mosswood tribe is the biggest tribe, but otherwise the other ones can be like, I wouldn't say walk in there without being thoroughly prepared. Otherwise, I expect you might attract more attention than a single ranger who knows the terrain like the back of her hand.
So are we talking hundreds, dozens, thousands?
Maybe more in the dozens to hundreds range usually. It really depends. Sometimes there's more, sometimes there's less. It's very hard to get an accurate picture because they kill each other all the time, right? But there's definitely not thousands. It doesn't seem to be a huge army, at
How
least
often,
not yet.
how often do they attack settlements like villages and cities like Sandpoint?
I mean, their attack is quite rare, but visiting the villages or just like passing by in a way isn't that rare. Actually, some of the goblins keep on raiding Sandpoint's junkyard, and they use the things that they grab there and they sell them to other goblins, and that's why they're seen as the best merchants.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Those are the seven-toothed goblins of Shanks Wood. So it's not that rare for there to be goblin presence, but to have an organized attack like this is the first time.
So do we go to their camp and just like burn it down?
I don't recommend it. Keep in mind, you're only four people.
Yeah, and they're like the core of the size of me, so I'm equal to four. I have a big ass weapon, so that's probably six, right?
She looks at you and intensity rises. I've been hunting these shits for all of my life. I've been breathing longer than you and your parents. Trust me, you do not want to go there. At least not yet. You are not prepared enough.
Okay, sounds good. I've never killed a goblin, so I don't know how bad they are.
How are we having all this talk of goblin without you having killed a single goblin?
I just healed these guys after they fought them, and then everybody just called me the Goblin Slayers. So I was like, "Ugh."
Honestly, it's not a bad. Me, Sue, and Detlaff, we kind of, and pardon me, Regis, we kind of steamrolled them. To be honest, we better hit a scratch.
A
I
steam
mean, it
roll.
did
What's a
hurt a
steam roll?
lot.
I don't know. I'm wondering this too. Is this something of
Is it a baked roll? Is it sugary?
It's
I love
a
sugar.
dwarven expression, steamroll. It's because you know
Yes, that's perfect.
it's
It's
basically
steaming the mines.
yeah, it's steaming the mines. You know, that you do so well, you get a lot of steam, and then you roll in it. So it's a steamroll. You don't have that in your expressions? No?
interest.
Oh, yeah, steamroll.
No, in the future, I'll see if I can use it properly.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Steamroll the goblins.
I think I think that would be a very good bakery or a very good baker thing. So I'm gonna go by the local bakery before leaving.
It's not what it's not what it means. It's okay. You'll get it. But yes, we were very effective. It's just so easier to use a dog expression. I'll continue later. We were very effective as a unit at defeat. Screw it. We steamrolled the goddamn goblins. Okay, as simple as that. And I do believe that if we're not ready now, we will be ready soon because I don't know, we fought how many goblins soon? 16, 20? Was it 50? And like skews
It
high.
was like 6, and I got shot, and I almost died, and I had to ask Mr. Fox to try and heal me.
Yes.
Mr. Fox? Are you talking about Mr. Fox, though?
Yes.
Charming fellow, isn't he?
He is very charming, no, a little squeamish when it comes to pulling out arrows from one's breast.
Also, he sucks at wielding a sword.
A little bit of a fool.
Hmm.
He don't hunt boar too well, I'll be honest.
Like my character's like, yeah, he's a nice guy, but he can't hold the sword worth shit.
Well, the gentry are like that, you know.
Well, in any case, is there anything else you want to know about the goblin tribes? It's getting late. We might be able to talk in the morning. How's that sound?
Good.
And that's where we'll leave it for this week.